The shop was formed in 1946 by Governor Sargent, and it's been a long-term institution on Cape Cod, serving the outdoorsman and woman. And it started off predominantly as a shooting shop, and it ventured very quickly into fishing, and now it has a raft of outdoor activities. So we actually have a vibrant kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, boating, marine, shooting sports, archery and fishing centre. The store's about 14,000 square feet. I don't know how many thousand people a year come through the store, but to give it the one dynamic I do know is you rent about 100 kayaks a day, so in the summer it's absolutely chaos. The journey to the Cape started on my honeymoon in 1994. We found the Cape after flying into Boston and mooching around for a few weeks. And I went as a keen fisherman all my life. I wandered into the Goose Hummock, fell in love with it, and always joked with my friends that one day I might buy it. And I sold I was the CEO of a consulting company which I sold to Vodafone in 2011, and that gave us the opportunity to move here. And Michael, who is the previous owner of the Goose, is a good friend of mine, and it kind of one thing led to another, and then I bought the company. So Michael still works there. He actually does all our purchasing for us and strategic projects. But it was a bit of a coincidence, more luck than judgment, I think. But it's something that my wife and I are thoroughly enjoying doing. Jan actually is heavily involved in the business. My son is heavily involved in the business. I was born and bred in England. We came here 2 years ago. From a career perspective, I chose to retire early from school. I left school at 16. And I started to work on a commercial fishing boat, and I did that for a little while. So I lobstered, we long-lined, we did various types of fishing, we took tourists out. I then found my job as a fishmonger. I did that for a while, and then I joined the post office in the UK because my father was the postmaster general, and I think him and my mum were actually fed up of me smelling of fish every day when I got home. From the fishmongers. 30 years later, I'm the CEO of a consulting company in the same business, and my whole career has been formed in what's called the network telecom space. So that's my career perspective. From a personal journey, fishing is one huge thing for me. Lacrosse is another huge thing for me. I had a great lacrosse career. I played lacrosse for 27 years. Actually, played for England in the '94 World Championships. Went on to manage the team in 1998. And after retiring and moving to the Cape, Norset High got wind of some of the things I'd done and asked me to coach. So I'm now the head coach at Norset High, which for me is a wonderful opportunity to give back to the community and share some of my knowledge and experiences with a group of kids. I coach about 45, 50 kids a year. So we don't have any competition on the Cape as the Goose Hummock because the size of the business. So our inventory-wise is probably as big as the rest of the Cape's fishing stores put together. But we coexist really well with them. So there's a couple of other big stores, but we actually work together because the guy from Hyannis isn't going to drive all the way up to Orleans for a $5 difference in the price of something. So we work with each other and support each other where we can. So it's quite regular. Even with the hookup before we acquired it, just down the street. If I was out of something, I'd send them down the road, because customer service is the only thing that differentiates a retail business from the internet.
Right.
And that's my threat. I have Bass Pro Shops at one level of Cabela's as the big shops, but I think most customers that go and actually spend time with those stores and they actually look around it, the inventory looks fantastic, but the staff knowledge is actually quite poor. If you come and speak to the staff that work for me in the Goose Hummock, some of the guys there have been fishing, 50 years they've actually been fishing, and their knowledge of the Cape and its fisheries is spectacular. Sandy, who's one of our senior guys in the firearms department, has been a shooting sports enthusiast for 50 plus years. You don't get that in the big box stores.